This is the downfall of WACTOR. If you guys don't know what WACTOR was, yeah, I mean, it says right here, they doxed their talents. There was a lot of drama about this on Twitter if you follow all the VTuber drama, but let's see the full explanation of what really happened.
It is without question that 2023 is the year of the yabs.
Yep.
From all sides, big corpo, small corpo,
There's been so many graduations this year, it's crazy.
micro corpo, and indies. Everyone's been tanking a lot of goodwill and reputation.
Yep.
And this year, thanks to the general VTuber community putting a spotlight on everybody else aside from the big three agencies, there have been many recorded rise to powers and fall from graces.
Yes.
Truly, we've seen perhaps the worst and best sides of VTubing this year. From the most heartwarming stories of new journeys and growth from their pasts, to cold, terrible stories that involves having talents getting their livelihood and personal life threatened.
See, and the other thing is, before this year, it was like not very popular to talk about all this VTuber drama publicly, but a lot of these horrible things and like dramas and doxings and like stalkers and stuff, like that all happens behind the scenes, but people don't really like publicize it as much. Now it's much more popular to kind of like blow it out of proportions and talk about it on Twitter.
But while you may have your own opinions to decide who the worst VTuber agency is, I am here to recall to you one of the more infamous incidents that happened in this industry's history. An agency so terrible that the term Black Company has been associated with their name here in the EN side of things.
And there was a lot of bad VTuber companies this year.
A VTuber company by the name of WACTOR.
WACTOR. I always called it WACTOR.
For some disclaimer, I am redacting a lot of personal information as well as not talking about topics that are of sensitive nature. I am not going to cover a lot of incidents that doesn't really concern the main subject. This video is going to cover the yabs of the company, not necessarily the yabs of the talents. Unless relevant, of course, and aside from that, there will be topics in this video that many people may find uncomfortable. So, with that being said, let's begin with a brief history.
There's your warning, guys.
Many people might not realize this, but WACTOR has been in the industry for quite a while, as early as 2018, actually. A couple months after Nousagi launched their first wave.
Holy.
But like other VTubers...
Wait, they've been around, they're ancient, bro, what the heck?
Agencies that was just starting up at that time and still figure things out, they were struggling to hold up their talents, to maintain the peace. In fact, it was quite bad. The growing pains of an agency quickly took a toll on them. And even perhaps a sign of their mismanagement and how things were truly bad behind the scenes. Let's have a look at one of their first generations. WACTOR publicly started hosting an audition call as early as August, calling for 3 members. They would then debut Hizuki Miyu.
That was the most dog shit looking announcement I've seen, man.
Hiroshimiya on October of 2018, with the third one, Otogi Lilu, following 4 months later. There were no real establishments on how close or connected these people were. Hell, they weren't even a group, though they would eventually form the unit Mirais. Another audition call would open for new members of the group and another generation, but in less than a year, one of the OGs, Otogi Lilu, graduated.
Ooh, that's never a good sign. That's always immediate, massive red flag.
Reasons for graduating is unknown, but shortly after her graduation, the new generation that they opened audition calls for debuted around the same time. Ryo, Aina, Yuyu, and Hana. Ryo was terminated due to a breach of contract literally 2 months later in December though, and keep the termination in mind because it foreshadows and hints at a problem that WACTOR has from the very beginning. In any case, the first generation Mirais got their new members come December as well.
I think that was like their strategy, is just whenever they want to graduate someone, they just call it a breach of contract, and then they just get into like legal nonsense and cause everybody a massive headache.
Leah and Pio. And unfortunately, Mirais would suffer a heavy blow as another OG member, Irizumiya, would graduate shortly after.
Wait. They added 2 people to the first group, and then one of the OGs is gone. Jesus.
Not only that, but another VTuber, Kokoro Ichiru, would join the second generation, and very shortly after, 2 more terminations would happen, Aina and Yuyu from the second generation. And then Ichiru herself, come late 2020, would also retire due to management issues.
Bro, they just dropping like flies, dude. Bang, 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 one after another.
Of the VTubers that remained on WACTOR at the time, only these remained, where they would wipe all of their previous group names and merge to form one unit named WACTOR. And a lot of them were gone via terminations. Terminations are a rare...
Bro. What kind of name is WACTOR anyways, man? That's like, where's VTuber Tractor Coon? Like, what is that? What does it mean?
Occurrence in many VTuber agencies. It's something of a last resort.
Right.
Many reputable companies will try to resolve issues that the talent has, or hard wrangle or reprimand them when they do things or plan to do something wrong.
True. The management should take care of the talents so that everybody's happy, and then you just make more content, okay? Make more content, make the audience and the viewers happy. But when a bunch of people are graduating, there's definitely behind the scenes a lot going on that they're not enjoying. There's some problems going on. They don't like being there. If they don't like being there, they're not going to want to make content. They're not going to feel comfortable in their VTuber, and they're going to want to leave.
Nobody wins in a termination. The agency tanks a reputational hit, and the VTuber in question loses a lot of respect, and the fan base gets a very bad and depressing time.
Yeah, true. Like, the fans don't like it. The VTuber has to rebrand. They have to go back to being indie. They have to like make a bunch of changes. It's a very unhappy situation for everyone, right? The company tanks, like massive losses, right? Like, it's bad. It's just bad all around. It sucks.
But when you have terminations and contractual breaches left, right, and center, even as a small company, it's only a matter of time that many people's eyebrows are going to get raised. That red flags and certain patterns will get identified.
Yup.
And if we were to be graceful and give them the benefit of the doubt, this was a time where the industry was still new and agency culture was still fresh.
Yeah.
Nobody really knew what to do. And for a time, it would seem like that was the case with WACTOR. Because come 2021, that was when they'd really find their niche in the market, with their expansion towards the Spanish-speaking demographic. Many people would say this is a good idea. Nijisanji and Hololive pretty much dominated the JP market.
True.
And it was going to be hard now to try and find their footing with the JP VTuber industry, especially at that time that they were being filled with all sorts of small and micro corpos. So they expanded to the rest of the world.
I mean, to be fair, like I think it would have been hard regardless, no matter what niche. Like, it's always gonna be a struggle. It's always gonna be a lot of work, right? But I mean, props to them for like going into a different niche and trying to like create content for that audience, right?
The members made their own content and videos catering to the Spanish demographic, and they would even expand over to Bilibili, given that Hololive just lost their massive presence there and created a power vacuum.
Wait. Is Bilibili? Is there a lot of Spanish speakers in Bilibili? I thought it was all like Chinese and stuff like that. I don't really go on Bilibili, so you guys are gonna have to let me know in the comments.
And particularly since Bilibili sponsored them. And it is in here that our persons of interests debuted. In the middle of their rise to relevancy, Misora Hina, Shino Laila, Kurari Rose, and Hushina Suzu debuted. They would open auditions for a new generation and establish themselves as a strong and sizable agency. And their talents would even breach 100k subscribers, and the newer talents riding on their way.
In 2 weeks, 100,000 subscribers in 2 weeks. Damn, that's a lot, dude.
Overall, it seemed like they were finally shedding their shell,
Good.
learning from their mistakes, and started caring more about how the world saw them, and how they operated, and how they treated their talents. Even during their rise, there were still many problems, yes.
Bro, what is that cucumber pizza thing? Disgusting, bro.
There were the usual graduations and contractual...
So you're telling me that kind of pizza caters to the Spanish audience? Oh my frick, man. Jesus. What is that?
breaches, but still again,
Or is it
perhaps
pickles?
they were just growing pains. After all, even Nijisanji's absolute dominance in 2018 had a lot of managerial problems as well. Hololive back in their golden year of 2020 also had many glaring issues that even the most dedicated fans could not ignore.
Right.
Point is,
that's the problem with these, like, it's such a new industry, right? That you're just gonna run into managerial problems because you're gonna run into problems that you just like, you didn't see coming, right? You couldn't prepare for them. And you're gonna have to adapt every single year. You're gonna have to adapt to new things, right, coming your way, and that's really hard to do.
Even in an agency's best eras, there will always still be problems, and those problems don't necessarily mean that they are a bad company. What if we still gave them a shot? 2022 was a time rife with problems for WACTOR, a time where any normally competent company was supposed to make use of the lightning they just caught in the bottle. To reflect and improve upon their growing pains. In the beginning of the year, Hana was nuked, stopping...
It would really suck if their new gen got all these new fans and an audience, and then they just immediately graduate them. That would look horrible for them.
All activities due to health reasons, and come March, they would gain international attention in the worst way possible.
Oh no.
Remember Shino Lila, one of
Yeah.
our persons of interests?
Yeah.
See, when she debuted in 2021, she got suspended 5 months later for
Huh?
contractual breaches apparently.
What are these contractual? Is everything a contractual breach? How is everything a contractual? What are they doing? What is going on?
And now, in 2022, well, WACTOR came out with an announcement that attached her real name with all the intent.
Oh, why would you do that? Hello? Why would anybody do that? That is such a big yup. Do they not understand that literally everybody would dislike this?
Of filing a suit against her, and that the reason why this was happening was because she streamed on a PL account. Why she did this was because allegedly WACTOR delayed payments for her and had to get her income somewhere. It essentially trapped her, and this told the community two things. One, WACTOR had an exclusivity clause where the talents are not allowed to make content under different aliases for as long as they are in the company.
That sucks.
Unlike Nijisanji and Hololive, who can make whatever fucking content they want to make in their PL accounts. And two, WACTOR was a very scary agency to be under and to be a fan of. An agency that may actually be deserving to be called a black company. I know black company is a word loosely thrown around these past couple of months, but this time, everyone actually meant it.
I think WACTOR was so afraid because when a tuber streams it on their PL account, usually they're like, maybe they use it as like a way to release some stress right from all the work of their, the main company, right? I'll use it with just kind of like hang out, tone down, chat with some people about like whatever they want and just relax a little bit. But a lot of fans can kind of see it as like a bit of a red flag because it's like when people see them streaming on the PL accounts, they're like, oh. Like, why are they on the past life? Like, things must not be going well at the company. Like, why wouldn't they stream on their main account, right? This always happens when people see people streaming on like an alt account, right? They immediately assume and get anxious and worried that like their favorite VTuber is like stressed out or doesn't enjoy streaming on their main account as much, right? And that can lead to like unnecessary like drama and like speculation regarding like the parent company. Which is probably why WACTOR, since they knew they were going to have problems dealing with their talents, they probably baked in that exclusivity clause because they wanted to like kind of be controlling, At
the time this was happening, another WACTOR VTuber and fellow genmate of Lila, Kurari Rose, got suspended for unknown reasons. But given WACTOR's track record of suspensions and what eventually happens, I think we all know where this was gonna go.
They don't care, bro.
In fact, both Lila and Rose and
they like, does management have just a massive ego over their talents or something? And they're just dishing out suspensions and graduations?
Another who was presumed to be Hannah, who just retired this year due to health reasons, would actually respond to WACTOR in a coordinated series of Twitter posts, with them announcing what they would do with the company going forward.
I think this is why Hololive has been like really been winning this year compared to all the other companies, is because like I think over time they've kind of proven that they would put the most care into like maintaining their talents and make sure that their talents are happy, right? Like Niji, their strat of kind of like pushing out new waves and they've recently had a lot of graduations and stuff like, Mista and Chichan is graduating, right? Nina, that over time has kind of led to some negative angst in the community, right? And sure, they push out a bunch of new waves and they're always like kind of recycling their audience, right? But Hololive is putting a lot more care into like growing their community and like being more unified in a sense. And I think like from the fans' sentiment, right? It feels a bit better. You know what I mean? It's a bit more stable and they get much more like long-term potential out of their fans, like much more commitment in the long run, right? And people are just kind of like praising that recently.
Lila indicated that what happened to her was illegal, and Rose wasn't even aware that she breached any contractual terms and that the termination was a one-sided affair with zero communication. Both Lila and Rose said two important things. WACTOR was uncooperative.
Wowza.
They were not responding to their prompts.
Yeah, zero communication, contractual like break of contract, right? This reminds me a lot of the Zion case from Niji, and everybody disliked that.
To add insult to injury, fellow Gen member Hoshino Suzu also declared that she would retire a few months after Kurari Rose and Shino Lila was suspended, and the fanbase was set on fire. It was a situation that WACTOR was not able to escape from. Their names would be associated with being a shady company here in the EN side of things. a label that would haunt them throughout the rest of their continued existence.
I mean, when you have such a big event like this that makes your fans feel so awkward around you, they will forever remember that feeling whenever your name comes up, right? It's not so much about like what happens, but it's the way you make them feel, right? And if they feel anxiety and they feel suspicious of you as a company, right? It doesn't matter really how much time passes. Okay, well, that might not be true. The feelings may go away after a long time, right? But even after a lot of time, if they haven't spent a lot of time in your ecosystem, when your name comes up or a tuber comes up as in your company, and that they will remember the way that they felt, right? They may not remember all the details, but they'll definitely remember the way they felt, and it won't feel good for them
as a company. But things would go silent from here on out. In fact, they would debut new talents and even ride on the male VTuber trend.
Yo, I love this. I know this is off topic, but I love the aesthetic of this tuber on the right.
By debuting their first male generation. But it seemed like their target demographic didn't seem too loud in their bleating and asking for WACTOR to take responsibility for.
Okay.
I mean, they were still complaining. WACTOR just wasn't responding or acknowledging them in any significant way.
All right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no communication from management. We know how much everybody hates that, dude. I mean, you can just look at game dev companies, right? When there's so much feedback from the community about what kind of changes they want to see, and then the game devs just ignore them, people stop trust. Everybody shits on the company. Everybody hates that, okay?
They would even commit to the Spanish-speaking market and fully release their fully dedicated WACTOR ES branch. Not just that, but they would even aim for Indonesia and China.
Wow.
PR-wise, this is actually one of the wiser things to do as an agency. When met with fierce backlash and opposition, you either stay silent and slowly improve and change as a company, letting the results speak for themselves until the fan base starts to forget about what you've done.
If you just kind of do things right and you just kind of move on and don't talk about it, the feelings will eventually go away, right? As long as you're not reinforcing that kind of negativity, right? Or you can just, boom, get a new audience. A new audience won't know anything about it, and they'll just be happy. They won't care. To them, there won't be any past dramas or controversies.
Or you make a statement and actually commit to it. WACTOR did the former. Overall, they seemed like they were hell-bent on expansion and taking advantage of the growth they got earlier this year. They were getting into many collaborations with big names such as Nousagi, getting all sorts of recognition, growing fast and hard.
I love Latinos.
That one incident with Lila was a massive black mark in their resume. Many people still bring it up whenever anything related to WACTOR surfaced. The EN side of things saw them as terrible, yes, but aside from that, things were going as planned for them.
Okay.
Things were going seemingly smoothly. With the key word there being seemingly.
Ooh.
Come 2023, it became quite obvious that things were not looking up for them.
Ooh.
In fact, this was the year where WACTOR would officially die. Let's rewind the clock a little bit. Back in July of 2022, a couple months after the Lila and Rose drama, there was a thread started by a certain indie VTuber who shared her experiences in almost joining WACTOR, even to a point of speaking with their higher-ups, but when she saw the contract, she thought that WACTOR was just not it. Full of contractual terms and clauses that were oddly dangerous. It was a tweet that was just discovered by many during the start of the year.
Why would they add all that into the contract anyways? These people not realize that like when you're hiring someone to be extremely creative, you have to let them be free to be creative. That's just how these people work, right?
And remember Misurahina, Korari Rose, and Lila?
Sorry, you can't like tack on a gazillion restrictions onto these people. It's gonna feel horrible. The working environment is just gonna be awful, right? Like these people, like they want to create, they have all these ideas for projects, they want to do all these things with the fans, like they have all of their own ideas, and then like now that feels so stifled because they have a gazillion requirements that they have to meet and they have to watch out for, otherwise they're gonna get suspended without anybody talking to them.
As Genmate, well, she became WACTOR's biggest talent, and she disappeared for an entire month since her New Year's tweet without any notification or updates towards her
serial
fanbase, and a few other members were also going silent. Many WACTOR fans became worried for their Oshis. Eileen, now Shino Lila, had this to say about it, essentially throwing shade at her former agency's silence and hoping that everybody will soon realize
silence is how they trick you into believing everything is okay, but in reality nothing is right. I just hope the world finally realizes what's under the rug. They can't hide it forever. Jesus.
The absolute state of the company.
That is some shade to throw. Holy.
And remember that indie earlier that spoke out about her experiences of almost joining WACTOR?
Yeah.
Well, she was threatened and was told to remove her thread, with many others told to remove any content related to WACTOR if they were negative.
Oh my goodness.
WACTOR would of course respond to this, asking
They literally they put out the freaking goon squad to tell her to get silenced, man.
fans to be supportive of the members and even throw a little implication that they may pursue legal action.
Okay.
Not just that, Lila and Kurari Rose would update their fan base yet again, sharing a coordinated tweet regarding their legal progress with the company.
Oh.
They all said the same thing. WACTOR was bluffing. They did not respond to all attempts to contact them, and now they're hiding away. It is in here that Hisoramina would also make...
Damn, dude. At least it's... I know that VTuber Twitter has been on fire since like the dawn of time, it feels like.
her grand re-entry into the scene by revealing her PL as Meiko and retweeting Lila and Rose's tweets and posting her own statement, confirming that she did in fact leave the agency without any sort of formal notice and making it clear that her departure with the company was not under good terms. It's important to note that all of this crippled WACTOR's operation to a massive degree.
I bet.
Misora Hina and a lot of their big hitters leaving WACTOR and publicly shaming them like this hurt the company's financials a lot. Perhaps even without the...
These people need to get it, like, I know management has a big ego sometimes, but when it comes down to the fans, who do you think the fans are going to trust the word of more? The talent that they loved and they spent hours and hours and hours with, chatting with them? Or the management who never responded, never addressed any of the problems that people had with the company, right? So when the talents leave, the fans are going to leave with them.
Big talents leaving, WACTOR was never financially stable in the first place though.
Yeah.
As Hina would actually confirm and mock WACTOR for being unprofitable and being in the red for quite some time.
Damn.
After all this went down, WACTOR was feeling a lot of pressure externally and internally. See, it wasn't just the destroyed support of their general fan base that absolutely screwed them over, it was one other problem that added a lot of unnecessary internal package.
Another problem?
Favoritism.
Oh!
We've talked about favoritism in this channel a lot, with Nijisanji being the most notorious example.
They're giving the Luxium treatment out here, goddamn.
But while Nijisanji's favoritism for Luxium back in 2022 was understandable in the business sense,
I mean, they made, they were making so much money, dude. They were printing out the merch for these boys.
As they were the cash cows, and it made sense that as a for-profit agency, Nijisanji would go this route.
Yeah, I mean, come on now. If my dream was to get that golden yacht, I'd be printing that money out, dude. What can I say, man? I mean, this Nijisanji CEO, he must be determined, because that gold doesn't buy itself.
But the favoritism in WACTOR was for a not so understandable reason, in any capacity and any sense at all. That is, if the favoritism rumor was true though. It basically goes like this. A certain member, Mitsuru Giliya, was accused to be favored by the CEO and the agency, getting all sorts of events and amenities, while the other girls, especially in the Espanol side of things, were not so accommodated, despite them averaging higher numbers. Of course, this could be explained by many things, like the fact that Leah was Japanese and a lot of the better performing members were not, making it difficult to communicate and include them in the amenities that WACTOR could offer the Japanese girls. Perhaps it could even be the xenophobia, given, Japan's track record when it comes to foreigners.
Wait, Japanese people being racist? No, dude. In 2020? No. Come on now.
But again, the explanation that a lot of schizos opined on was the fact that apparently Leah was having an intimate relationship with the CEO.
Oh, damn. And wait. Dude, everybody loves to... I don't know what is up with fans and stuff. They're just instantly, immediately jumping to this conclusion all the time. Across, like, not just with VTubing, but like all entertainment.
Suffice to say, a lot of the demographic bought the rumor and actually tried confronting Leah about it.
Oh, damn.
And what did not help was the fact that Leah tried to address and debunk this, and nothing really came out of it.
Sure. Because, dude, people will just believe, they'll believe what they want to believe. Come on now. I mean, they heard a random rumor, and they didn't question the source. They didn't, like, wonder about how credible it is. They just get anxious, and they're like, holy frick, like, it could be true, and it doesn't, at that point, it doesn't matter what you say, right? The rumor's out there. Like, you're not gonna stop it. I mean, dude, brother, like, this happens in middle school, this happens in high school, this happens in elementary school, this happens on Twitter, it happens on YouTube, it happens everywhere, man. Like, somebody comes up with a rumor that could be somewhat maybe plausible. Good luck, man. Hire the Mythbusters. I don't know.
Basically said something along the lines of, there's no way to prove that I slept with the CEO, but there's also no way to prove that I did not. Which is a very roundabout.
That's the problem with rumors, man. You're guilty until you're innocent by your haters, right? But then you're innocent until you're proven guilty by all your supporters. Nobody cares, man. They just pick a side.
And confusing way to basically state that people will not believe what she'll say anyway and still believe their own rats.
I mean, true.
But while that point is good, this statement could have been worded better.
I mean, yes, but it is true, right? Like, people already picked a side, but and this is why so many people just choose to ignore controversies like this, right? Because by talking about it, you just kind of bring more people into the conversation. And generally what's going to happen is, like, you're going to bring more people into the conversation that are not in your immediate fan base, because your immediate fan base is going to, like, take your side, right? They're going to take your side and they're going to, like, hear you out, right? But people outside your fan base will probably not take your side, right? The majority of them, they love drama, dude. They love drama. So this is why people just don't talk about it, right? Whether it's true or not, your statement, right? People kind of just ignore it because, like, you just blow it out of proportions, and then everybody loves to talk about this shit on Twitter, and that's no fun for the fans, because then they get a bunch of anti-eyes, and they don't want to talk about being a supporter of you because when they know that there's a bunch of, like, antis running around, right?
In fact, it just made her a lot more suspicious, actually.
Exactly.
There's also an added point to the rumor that she was the one responsible for the graduation of the girl she didn't like. Ultimately, though, she graduated from WACTOR, getting the chance to become an indie, unlike a lot of those that WACTOR discharged. This served to actually kind of enforce the favoritism sentiment, actually. It made some people upset, as their name was dragged through the mud with so much pressure, talents leaving left and right, resources bleeding, public goodwill going down the drain.
Straight down.
It's the sort of thing that just makes a CEO break.
Yeah. I mean, how do you recover from that, man? How do you recover from that? Everybody hates you. Your reputation's in the trash. A lot of things you work towards, all your talents and stuff, they all left. You're out of money. What are you gonna do? Come on now.
Around 2 or 3 weeks after all of this went down, WACTOR decided to burn itself as an attempt to scorch the earth below them, and in hopes of rising out of their ashes like a phoenix. The rising out of the ashes part is their...
Yeah, I don't know about that. That sounds like copium. I think burning yourself, like, that's a GG moment. Okay, that is an exit game moment. Like, it's over. Like, you don't get a rise for nothing, bro. Rise from the ashes, bro. This ain't Dark Souls, man. This is running a business. It doesn't work like that.
Attempt to rebrand the company and the talents. Their new generations were given new names, and they'd put down their websites to rebrand and attempt to get away from the WACTOR brand and the negative connotations associated with it. In terms of business, this makes sense, so they could salvage the company,
I guess.
But what did not make sense in any capacity was the scorching the earth part. WACTOR put out a notice that seemed like what was their response to the legal notices made by Kurari Rose and Lila, threatening legal action against the members who were responsible for exposing and burning down their reputation. However, they did one other thing, and that was when they fully hard-doxxed their former golden goose.
Damn!
This was leagues above what they did to Lila.
That is fucked up, yo. That is so fucked up, man. Doxing is never okay.
Not to downplay the severity of the actions against Lila, of course. In Lila's case, they only showed her real name. In this case, though, they revealed more than that. They included her full name, her ID number, and her general location.
What the fuck?
Information that would have been more than enough to get some unruly and dangerous individuals to find her.
Yep.
This, I have to make you understand, was not an act that was out of touch or accidental or unprofessional.
It's straight up evil, that's what it is.
That a lot of other corpos make. This was a vengeful and malicious stunt. This isn't the only thing they did though. They also necroed her channel and posted a video which contained their announcement and that information.
Whoa! Holy shit, dude. That's crazy.
Even on Hina Misora's YouTube channel, they left the information there so people could find it.
What the fuck?
The video where they posted her information was deleted by YouTube themselves after being reported, but her information still remains on her channel. And to deeply instill into your mind how absolutely petty and pathetic WACTOR
That is so fucking psychotic. Jesus Christ, man.
was, they necroed Misora Hina's Twitter account too to rile up support and redirect.
Wait, what does it mean by necroed? Can you guys explain? Like they took a dead account and they kind of brought it back to life to make this one post? Is that what it means? I've never heard that before.
Fans to a PR stream that announced the lawsuits against the former members. All of these facts makes it clear that WACTOR.
How on earth? Wait, what? This is literally just to be evil. Like, how on earth does this help the company in any way? Like, this nobody likes this. No, this helps literally fucking nobody. What the hell?
Wanted the person behind Misora Hina to be in danger.
Jesus.
And to say that the Spanish demographic and their general fan base was disappointed would be this year's understatement.
It wouldn't even be just their fans. Like, not even just VTuber like fans and like the community, but literally everybody would dislike this dude.
Meika, again, Misora Hina herself, would actually respond to this. Actually, she made fun of the company and still standing tall despite everything. Many people pointed out the fact that this is illegal to the country Hina resides in, and the fact that WACTOR is not just a coward, but is a Japanese company throwing out lawsuits and making legal acts and threats to the people involved is something of a difficult endeavor. Cross-country legal shenanigans is quite a puzzling thing to figure out, so
it's messy.
Even I'm not sure that anything can actually be done from it. And remember Mitsurugi Leah, the one everyone accused of favoritism and sleeping with the CEO?
Yep.
She got a lot of flack from the angry mob, as
bet.
a lot of people were still upset about the whole favoritism thing.
He should have leaked about the rumors of sleeping with her for sure. If he was gonna go that far, I mean, Jesus.
The situation turned dire for her.
What the fuck?
Because in the middle of it all, she posted a tweet, or rather, a family member posted a tweet in her stead, saying that she will cease being Mitsurugi Leah and stop completely. And that she tried to commit unalive, and now she's going to delete everything. These were the final nails in the coffin when it came to WACTOR's downfall as a VTuber agency. The goodwill, what potential they could have reached in the EN side of things, and the grip that they had on the Spanish demographic, all of it wasted, drained down the gutter.
I mean, all of that and worse. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. They took this cute anime VTuber girl on the internet and they made her want to unalive herself. Like, what the fuck?
Again, WACTOR is reorganizing and attempting to eradicate the bad connotation around their name, and so far the results are not that good.
I bet.
As an example,
bro, when they have a track record this fucking awful, like, just stop. Just end the company. Unalive the company then, and just be done with it.
2 members were supposed to debut on March, and they just actually flat out quit a month after the hard-doxxing.
That's crazy.
And every other
Yeah, exactly. Why would you want to work for a company like that? Hello? I'd quit too.
VTuber afterwards all just left and became silent. No notice of terminations or graduations or anything. Just silence.
I hope all of these VTubers get picked up. Get rescued by some other indie company. That's good. You know what I mean? I really hope so. Like, they don't deserve any of this bullshit.
I suppose you may try to wipe away the external problems regarding your name, but all attempts of doing that are all futile when internal problems persist. After this whole situation, a lot of the members expressed concerning sentiments regarding.
It really does come off as like, the real problem is not about the public sentiment or about the reputation. The real problem is them. They're the problem. WACTOR's the problem, okay? They have to be. Like, I can't see any other explanation for this.
Self-harm and depression. I'd like to respect their privacy, but the reason I'm telling you this is because a lot of people don't quite understand or grasp how big this was.
Yeah.
How traumatizing and terrible this situation was to the people involved and to the agency's fan base. I originally wanted to talk about what happened to everyone that left the agency, but I'd have to track everyone down. I also figured that that will be going out of the scope of this video, even though a lot of them have actually branched off and have had some interesting developments afterwards.
Oh?
A lot of the former members have re-debuted as indies, and other
Good.
people, like Lila, are now even part of better VTuber agencies.
Pog.
Of course, I'd rather not find all of them. Frankly, that would be an undertaking that would be too much effort for little value in this video. As for WACTOR, we may never know what it is going on internally. The official Twitter account is still posting event updates and all that sort of stuff, but with their biggest hitters, no, actually most of their talent's gone. This company may never, ever recover in any way at all.
Bro, I hope they all leave and they all get picked up by someone like a better company, and they get treated much better than how they are at WACTOR. Like, imagine the intense amount of like anxiety you would have if you were still a talent working for WACTOR. You know, it's way too much, man.
Really, this was an interesting case of a company as old as Nijisanji and who could have potentially reached a similar level of popularity and renown in the Spanish side of things. Someone who had similar grand goals of expansion, but without the internal integrity to make it happen. It serves as a warning to many who may wish to join an agency, that despite the popularity, the public reputation, the community reception, we never truly know what is going on behind the scenes.
Right.
In a small and interconnected industry, riddled with NDAs and non-competes and company secrets, all information the fanbase can get from these agencies are those that the talents are allowed to share, or information that bubbles or erupts to the surface.
Which is obviously not the full story, right? It's super mega biased towards the company, and you just won't know, you know. There's like these contracts have so much bullshit baked into it, right? How would you know, you know?
There might be countless others that could arguably contest for the title of the worst VTuber agency.
Yeah, I wish they have their Zion moment, and they write their twit longer. They write their a girl story twit longer, and we get to get all of the mysteries unveiled with the management and stuff. But you know, they deserve to go off and not get treated this way and get to make content, and they get to stream and they get to make videos and stuff without having to worry about getting doxxed, and without having to worry about, you know, all their information getting leaked and getting harassed on the internet. They shouldn't have to deal with any of that bullshit, man.
Although we may call WACTOR the worst VTuber agency now, it is only the worst one that we know of.
That we know of, yeah, exactly, dude. Like, bro, we don't know what's going on in the back doors, man. Like, it's crazy, and it's sad because like a lot of talents, they feel like beholden to kind of make the management happy, right? Because they don't want to lose their setup and what they got going, right? They don't want to lose their connection with their fans. They don't want to rebrand and stuff. So a lot of times they have to put up with shit behind the scenes that they don't want to deal with, right? But they do, because they do it for the fans, right? And they do it for like their careers and stuff. So anyway, that's all for that video.